Hello and welcome to another video from Dazatron's Diorama Llama, and this is another spotlight video in the Jushin Liger series. So this is a spotlight on the Doyusha model kits. So if you've watched the intro video before on this series where I talk about Jushin Liger and his collection to me as a child, you'll know the fond memories that I have of this particular figure right here. And so it's been a real pleasure to kind of pick up these over the past year, and I just wanted to kind of show them in a little bit more detail. They haven't made each and every one of these. As you can see, there's only 3 of the kits here that have been made up. The rest of them are still kind of in their packs. They've got all the parts there, so hopefully I will make them up in the future. I was a little bit unsure whether I would or not. But again, as a toy collector, I'm not one just for keeping things in their boxes. I like to kind of play with them. I like to see what they look like. So even with model kits, they just feel a bit pointless just keeping them unmade in their boxes. But I do love the artwork on these. I love the actual packaging themselves, and it's very rare that I kind of display packaging because I just don't have the space, but I do love these as they are. So I'm just gonna go through some of the packaging, show you the different kind of artworks in each one, show you some of the contents, and we'll have a look at a couple of the figures. So I think first of all, if we just look at the artworks, so if I start with number 1, which is this one here, so you can see they've all got their numbers at the top there of the series. So this is our main character. So yeah, Bioarmor Liger, I think, was the kind of the English name for him, whereas Jushin Liger is what he's really known as. So yeah, some people will refer to this as Bioarmor Liger. So this is Liger or Liger. And as you can see here, we've got the other characters in the series. You can see we've got this on this side here. And actually, it's this one here, number 9, that I don't have. And that is Empress Zara. So I really need to find that one to kind of complete the model collection. But I haven't seen it come up once yet anywhere. So yeah, if you do see that, please give me a bell. I would be very, very grateful. What's nice about these figures, they're all kind of the super deformed versions, the SD versions. And if you know anime, often that's quite a common thing that you will see. You'll see kind of popular characters in this kind of version. This kind of, I suppose, almost like kind of reminds me of like an early pop figure. You know, it's what pop figures are kind of made popular, isn't it? Kind of making these cute little small versions, where Japan did this, you know, decades ago. And they're still kind of really popular. So this is Liger, and I do love that artwork. I don't know who the designer is. I'd love to know, but really cool packaging artwork there. And if I open this one up, you can see each one pretty much looks similar to that. So you get this little bit here, and you get the little wind-up mechanic. So all of these are little wind-up toys, these smaller versions, which is ace. I just really like that. Got some really cool kind of packaging design. You got the kanji there, and then we've got the instructions. We've got some cool artwork there, so I'm not sure what that was for. This requires a stamp, so you could send off for something by the looks of it. You always got this kind of set of stickers in each pack. So even the larger versions, you got these stickers, and then you've got the instructions, which are not as clear as they look, but it is nice that they came in English as well, which is really good. So it's interesting to know if these made it into the US or the UK. as I said, I managed to pick some up over here in the UK back in the early 90s. So they did get over here. Not too far after the anime. So the anime finished in 1990. So it was around kind of the early years, maybe 91, 92, something like that, when I first saw these. So number 2 is, I think it's that one. So I can't see. Oh yeah, there we go. So number 2 there. So you can see this one's kind of faded in the light a little bit. It's got more of a blue colour going. So again, we've got the nice little kind of action. So I think he's meant to wave his sword in his hand. And this is kind of the arch rival of Liger. And this is Dolga. And I think his Ryu is the actual kind of human character's name. And I won't give any spoilers. But he's a really important character in the series and becomes much more important actually later on in the anime as well. So yeah, so that's Dolga, and he was the one I kind of fell in love with as a design. I just thought he's such a cool character. So then we've got number 3, which is Doll Phantom. So again, this is one of the Dragonites. And just a really cool design. I've always quite liked when you get the kind of the heads in the bodies. It was quite creepy. It's really kind of almost like beetle type thing. And again, the standard artwork on the sides. And I think these all look, yeah, pretty similar inside. In fact, that's got a colour pamphlet with that one, showing you what the toy looks like. More of that artwork. Oh yeah, and that's the instructions inside as we saw before. In fact, just for documentation purposes, I'm just going to get this one back out and let's just have a little look inside this one as well. So you can see what the parts look like. Some nice kind of moulded features there. So that is interesting because I've just spotted something there with his arms. Which I'll come back to if it turns out to be true. So we've got next, we've got number 4, which is here. So this is Doll Army. And I do remember this character in the show. Weird hairy like creature. Armoured up. Again, very cool artwork. So there's kind of different kind of members of the Dragonite army, and they would then become these creatures. So they looked a bit more humanoid, but then they would turn into these Dragonites. So we've got, again, just really cool molded pieces. You can see the arms just there, look. So that is number 4. And then we've got number 5 here, which is Doll Saturn. Yeah, and you can see actually there's the character, so she turns into that. Or sometimes she would kind of find these other Dragonites and kind of get them to do her bidding in the anime. So I'm not too sure if she turned into this one, if this was her form, which it could be. As you got that character at the back there. All of these are kind of snap together kits, so there's no kind of glue required for these. So you can see the little fists there. A little bit fiddly to make, I have to say. When I made, I've got a video of me making this one, which I'll put up at some point as well. So number 6. So we've got Fire Liger here. It was this kind of like powered up form of Liger, which I love that idea. And he gets this, again, you know, kind of remind me of those kind of lion statues. And I love the horns again, and the cool armor. Again, the outside is pretty much the same. There's nothing on the back of these. So let's have a little look at the contents. We've got the stickers there. And again, we've got the cool moulded pieces. So one last look at the artwork for that one. And I like how you got the Dolga character in the back there. Really cool artwork. So that is number 6. So then number 7 is the powered up version of Dolga, which is Dolga Dragon. Again, a little bit of wear on this one, but you can still see the packaging artwork really clearly. And you got his arch rival there, Liger. This is what I wanted to look for, because I found it in a bag of stuff from my dad's. And can you see those arms there? With that armour, you've got like the fist attached. I've got a couple of these, but the green ones. And I assumed that they were from this character here, but they don't match up with these arms and wrists. Got a nice dragon head there. And it puzzled me because I was sure they came from this mod. It came from this model kit. These hands. It's all I've got left of the figure. And so I wasn't going to mention it, but spotting those, they look exactly like them, but those are orange in there and the green, the versions that I've got, which is really weird. So I'll show you in a bit, but that's bizarre. So what number is that? That's number 7. And then we've got Doll Navy here. And actually started with this one, which is the last version. Is this kind of crab, crustacean kind of creature. So there won't be much left in here. Yeah, just the sprues there and the kind of little pamphlets that come with that, and the instructions. I've kept all of that stuff, so don't want to get rid of that. And just look at that artwork again. So I've just been downstairs and I've found those arms that I was talking about. So I had these as a kid. This is the only thing that's been left from this model kit. And I tried to use Google Lens to identify what they are, and I couldn't find anything on Google Lens. And as I said, I assumed they were from this kit, because after I watched that video from Slimehouse TV that kind of awakened this memory of this character, I went back to my dad's to see if I could find anything, if I still had the old kit. And I didn't have the box or anything. But in a bag, I found those pieces. And I was pretty certain they were from this kit. But if you look at the arms on this kit, they are completely different. However, just looking through these kind of super deformed model kits, you've got those there, and they are exactly the same mold. Even the little details on the bottom. So you've got the little kind of dragon scale sculpt. But what's weird is that I don't remember having a smaller version. Got a vague memory, but I just don't quite remember that. And these are orange, not green, in here. So that's the same kind of colour green. But there's no parts to the hands there. And the only other one, because there must be of that character, because nobody else has kind of green hands. So he has got green hands here, look, in rather orange in the kit, which is strange. And then this one here has also got the green hands, but again, if we open up the kit, there's still orange there. Just go double check that. Yeah. So that's really freaked me out. That's really weird. So if anybody has any information about that, that would be awesome, because that has confused me greatly. Because it's the same mold, different colour, but it feels like they should be that colour, and I don't recall having the super deformed version. Although maybe I did, but it's a different kit. So that's weird, and I don't think it would be from the one I'm missing, because she's kind of this kind of blue kind of colour. So I don't think it would be her hands, although actually they don't always stick to exactly the same colours. But I don't see how that would... It looks like the same mould as the Dolga dragon. So that's weird. Anyway, moving on. So here is Doll Navy, that crustacean character that we saw. So you can see his little face there. Unfortunately, the wind-up mechanism doesn't actually work, not on this one. So I don't know if I did something wrong in the build, but I can't get that to work. But it's a cool little toy, little character. I really like that. So I didn't have this version. So this is Dolga's kind of power-up version, where he becomes more like a dragon. He gains his wings. He's like much bigger. In fact, you can see him here. And he looks glorious. Love that. Really cool artwork. In fact, I don't know if... Yeah, I'm not sure if the original contents are in here. So we've got the main artworks. Yeah, the instructions. And so I am missing actually the Jushin Liger larger version. So I do need to look out for that at some point. And there's actually a Ryobot version, which is stupidly expensive. There's a black version, and there's the normal kind of orange version of this character, and that's really cool. I'd love to pick up that at some point, because that looks like a fully articulated kind of modern take on him, which is really cool. And you also get, I'm sure you get that head with it as well. So I am looking out for that if I can pick him up reasonably cheap. As I said, the prices for that are ridiculous. So yeah, so that is this one. This was already made up actually when I purchased this on eBay. That's why I got it a lot cheaper, because it was already made. But I did want a version of this. I just think the sculpt's really cool. Yeah, I haven't broken that. They just kind of clip on on the back here, if I can do that properly. Which I probably won't be able to as I'm filming, because that's usually the way. So he's great. These will look really cool painted up. And there's the one that I had when I was a young teenager. And this is the artwork that captured my attention when I went into that shop. I can't remember the shop, unfortunately. But I know back in the day when we were collecting anything Japanese and anything anime related, we went to loads of places. So this is Maroyo Dolga. Just love the artwork in that. Again, I don't know if it's got the original content. It might do. I think it's got the leaflet. Yeah. So, oops. It's got the leaflet there, showing the character made up with a painted face on there as well, which is quite cool. So they've kind of painted the shield and the face. So you've got the blue face on there, which is quite nice to see that. Just get that back again so we can see. So it is articulated. I'm not going to move those arms too much. They do turn, but that's what I snapped off when I was a child. So you've got an elbow bend. Let's just move that shield out of the way, because he doesn't hold his shield and his sword very well. Although he actually has kind of finger joints. Which, considering this is, you know, a really old model kit, I think that's really cool. Nice articulation in the elbow. So he's got this kind of double jointed elbow there, which again, crazy articulation for model kit. The knee actually doesn't bend backwards, it bends forwards like that. And you can move the kind of the thigh joint, but again, it's that, I don't know if you can see that peg inside there. Those pegs, those joints, they're really small, and that's what I broke when I was younger, so I'm just really unsure about that. And we've got some articulation there in the tail as well, and the head does turn a little bit. And just a really cool sculpt. Really great. And so the Ryu character would go inside his stomach, and he would then take on this character and be able to kind of move him and control him so he can battle with Liger. So there is my overview of the Doyusha Jushin Liger range. Couple of kits I still need to find. But yeah, again, would love to hear your comments on these. See what you think about them. Did you have one when you were younger, back in the day? Or even, do you have them as part of your collection now? And yeah, I will see you again soon.